Every single day, factories in Pennsylvania push out enough Reese's peanut butter cups to wrap around entire cities in chocolate and peanut butter. More than 160 million cups disappear from store shelves every year in the United States alone, and during Halloween season, the production lines come so intense that machines barely stop moving for weeks. Inside these factories, rivers of molten chocolate flow through stainless steel pipes at carefully controlled temperatures, conveyor belts race faster than highway traffic, and thousands of perfectly identical peanut butter cups are created every single minute. But hidden deep inside this process is one tiny manufacturing secret that completely changes the texture, flavor, and melt of a Reese's cup, and almost nobody outside the factory ever notices it. The moment raw peanuts arrive at the plant, the scale becomes almost impossible to understand. Massive trucks unload tons of peanuts into giant storage silos that tower over the factory floor like grain elevators. These peanuts are not just dumped into machines and crushed. Every batch goes through intense inspection systems that use lasers, airflow separators, vibrating screens, and optical scanners to remove damaged nuts, shell fragments, and even tiny stones that could destroy million-dollar equipment. And this is where things already get insane. A single bad contaminant entering the wrong grinder could shut down an entire production line capable of producing hundreds of thousands of cups per hour. Once approved, the peanuts move into giant industrial roasters that look more like jet engines than kitchen appliances. Temperatures climb past 300 degrees Fahrenheit as rotating drums continuously tumble the peanuts to guarantee even roasting. The smell inside this section of the factory is so powerful that workers say it clings to their clothes for hours after leaving the building. But roasting peanuts is far more dangerous than most people realize. If the heat rises too quickly, the natural oils inside the peanuts can burn, creating bitterness that ruins entire batches. Yet if the roast is too light, the signature Reese's flavor disappears completely. Operators constantly monitor color, moisture, and oil release with near-scientific precision because this tiny detail changes everything. And then comes the transformation that turns ordinary peanuts into the famous filling people recognize instantly. Huge industrial grinders crush the roasted peanuts into an ultra-smooth paste while mixing in sugar, salt, and stabilizers. The machines roar nonstop, and some of the rollers exert pressures powerful enough to pulverize solid material into microscopic particles. What's fascinating is that Reese's peanut butter filling is intentionally made differently from regular jarred peanut butter. It's drier, crumblier, less oily. That unusual texture is not an accident. It's specifically engineered so the filling holds its shape inside the chocolate shell without leaking or collapsing during production. And near the end of this video, you'll discover the hidden reason that texture became one of the biggest advantages in candy history. But while the peanut butter filling is being prepared, another operation is happening at the exact same time on a scale that feels almost unreal. Liquid chocolate is flowing continuously through heated pipes stretching across the factory ceiling. Massive storage tanks hold thousands of gallons of melted chocolate at carefully controlled temperatures because even a tiny fluctuation can ruin the final texture. If the chocolate cools too quickly, it develops dull streaks and cracks. If it overheats, the flavor changes completely. So factories use a process called tempering, where chocolate is heated, cooled, and reheated in precise stages to stabilize the cocoa butter crystals. It sounds simple, but entire engineering teams are dedicated to maintaining these exact conditions every second of the day. Then the real magic begins. Rows of empty molds race down conveyor systems at astonishing speeds, while machines inject thin layers of liquid chocolate into each cup cavity. The molds vibrate aggressively to eliminate trapped air bubbles and evenly spread the chocolate into the iconic ridge shape people recognize instantly. What happens next is unbelievably fast. Before the chocolate fully hardens, automated depositors drop perfectly measured portions of peanut butter filling directly into the center of every cup with almost surgical accuracy. Some lines can place thousands of fillings every single minute without missing alignment by more than fractions of an inch, and this is where human skill still matters more than most people expect. Even in one of the most automated candy systems on Earth, experienced operators constantly watch the lines for tiny defects invisible to normal customers. A slightly off-center filling, a shell wall too thin, chocolate flowing unevenly because of humidity changes. These workers know that one small issue can multiply across millions of cups before engineers even notice. In a factory operating at this speed, Mistakes don't happen slowly. They explode instantly. Once the peanut butter is deposited, another curtain of liquid chocolate floods over the top, sealing the filling inside. The molds continue vibrating while excess chocolate is scraped away with incredible precision. Then entire trays enter refrigerated cooling tunnels stretching longer than football fields. Inside these tunnels, temperature and airflow are carefully managed so the chocolate solidifies evenly without cracking. Imagine thousands upon thousands of Reese's cups moving silently through chilled industrial corridors every minute like an endless river of candy, but the speed becomes even more insane during holiday seasons. Halloween alone accounts for a massive percentage of annual candy sales, and Reese's factories enter near nonstop production cycles to keep up with demand. Specialized seasonal molds create pumpkins, bats, ghosts, hearts, eggs, and Christmas trees, each requiring different chocolate thicknesses and cooling times. And strangely enough, many fans swear the holiday-shaped Reese's taste better than the standard cups. The reason has nothing to do with different ingredients. It's geometry. Seasonal shapes often contain a higher peanut butter to chocolate ratio, which changes the entire eating experience. That tiny adjustment in proportions creates a softer texture and stronger peanut butter flavor, and millions of people notice the difference immediately, even if they can't explain why. Now imagine the logistics behind all of this. Factories must coordinate peanut deliveries, sugar supplies, cocoa shipments, packaging materials, refrigeration systems, and transportation schedules with almost military precision. If even one ingredient shipment is delayed, entire production schedules collapse. Some facilities run 24 hours a day with teams rotating through the night just to maintain output. Conveyor systems travel through multiple floors. Robotic arms stack boxes faster than humans can visually track them. Automated scanners inspect packaging seals at lightning speed because one damaged wrapper could expose chocolate to moisture or oxygen and ruin shelf life. And speaking of packaging, what happens after the cups leave the cooling tunnels is another hidden world most people never think about. Finished cups move onto high-speed wrapping systems where foil and plastic packaging are folded around each piece in fractions of a second. Some machines can wrap more than 1,000 candies per minute, while cameras inspect every package for alignment errors or incomplete seals. Defective products are instantly blasted off the line using compressed air jets so fast they almost look invisible. But here's the part most viewers never realize. Factories producing Reese's generate enormous amounts of heat. Between roasters, motors, cooling systems, tempering machines, and industrial lighting, the energy demand is staggering. Entire refrigeration networks work constantly just to counter the heat created by the production process itself. Some sections feel like tropical environments while nearby cooling tunnels are cold enough to fog the air. Workers move through these temperature zones for hours every shift while machines thunder nonstop around them. And if you're enjoying seeing how something this iconic is made on such a ridiculous scale, hit like and subscribe, because what happens next might be the craziest part of the entire operation. Every batch of Reese's must maintain near-perfect consistency worldwide. That means a cup purchased in New York should taste almost identical to one sold thousands of miles away. Achieving that level of consistency with agricultural ingredients is unbelievably difficult because peanuts naturally vary in oil content, sweetness, and size depending on weather conditions and harvest quality. So factories constantly test samples in laboratories where technicians analyze texture, viscosity, flavor balance, and moisture levels with scientific precision. Some batches are adjusted in real time while production continues at full speed. And then there's waste management. A factory producing millions of peanut butter cups cannot afford inefficiency. Excess chocolate scraped from molds is collected, filtered, remelted, and reused. Peanut fragments are redirected through controlled systems. Packaging materials are monitored carefully because shaving even a fraction of a gram from wrappers can save massive amounts of money across billions of units annually. At this scale, tiny improvements become multi-million-dollar decisions. But remember the secret teased earlier? The reason Reese's peanut butter filling feels so uniquely addictive compared to normal peanut butter. It comes down to moisture and fat control. Regular peanut butter contains enough oil and moisture to stay creamy inside a jar. But Reese's filling is engineered to be drier and denser, so it interacts differently with the chocolate shell. That lower moisture level prevents the chocolate from becoming soggy while creating the crumbly melt people instantly recognize. And because the filling contains carefully balanced fat particles, it dissolves across your tongue at nearly the same rate as the chocolate coating. That synchronized melt is the hidden trick. It creates the illusion that the candy completely disappears in your mouth all at once, which intensifies flavor and makes people crave another bite almost immediately. That tiny manufacturing detail helped transform a simple peanut butter candy into one of the most successful confectionery products on Earth. So the next time you unwrap a Reese's peanut butter cup, remember what it actually took to create it. Thousands of tons of peanuts, rivers of molten chocolate, precision engineering operating around the clock, high-speed robots, cooling tunnels, industrial roasters, laboratory testing, and factories producing candy at a scale so massive it barely seems real, all to create one small cup that vanishes in just a few bites.